as developers or someone learning AI, what is your greatest challenge when you're working or coding with it? And instead of me answering it, I will ask my colleague and co-leader
Mhm.
Håkan what he thinks about it.
Yeah. As I think one challenge here is to know where to start actually, because there are so many different options for us. We can either choose like a low code solution using Copilot, or we could use more pro code using Azure Foundry, using Azure AI Search, or we could do something in between, because it's also possible to develop an agent in Copilot Studio, and then you have a backend that connects to Azure AI Foundry and Azure AI Search. So today, the topic for today here is about agents and about MCP servers. So we hope that after this session, you will have a good understanding here of what is an MCP server, and hopefully you will also see that it's not so complicated to set an MCP server up. And we will also see how can I create an agent, and how can I create a client that can help this agent consume these services.
Yes, that's exciting. Thank you, Håkan, for that. So I want to share also that I did attend the Microsoft Ignite, and I'm also involved with different like interactions with developers as I speak at conferences and meetup, and also learning myself as a developer in building agents. And one of the challenges, probably you all can also have noticed this and can relate to this list, is some of the challenges is that questions that most developers ask is that where do I start building an agent? And then another question that many developers have challenges is asking the question, how can I make agents work together? And how do I know what my agent is actually doing behind the scenes with my applications? And another way is like how to deploy and manage these agents, and where do I have a good user interface to handle or to make management on this agent. So those are like the common challenges that most developers has. But if you're someone that's new in AI agents, so maybe Håkan can share what are AA agents in
Mhm.
this perspective.
Yeah, so the basic here of using an AI agent is that the AI agent's using a language model, or we call it an LLM. So the LLM is able to understand our question, and it's also able to go into specific data and retrieve the kind of data that we're asking for, and then give it back to us in a natural language here. Um, so we can also have a workflow with agents. So that means that you set up that the agent first should do one task, and after that, it will take that result and go to do the second task. And then finally, it will sort of compile a report or compile an answer and hand it back to us, the users. And the nice thing here with the MCP services, that gives us like a standardized method or methodology here for creating this, which makes it much more easy both for us to write the MCP server, but also for someone else to consume these tools that the MCP server allows.
That's great, and it's a very good basic to really understand how AI agents work before we get started. So this is one good example that we have, Håkan, and probably you are also familiar with this very well since you work with this day to day.